3 tips to help you to be realistic about learning Italian. Tip number 1, be realistic about the available time that you have to study. This is the number one thing that I hear from students, is that they don't have time to focus on language learning. But I'm inclined to suggest that that may be because they are approaching the situation from the wrong angle. If you have a traditional mindset and you believe that you need to spend 1 or 2 solid hours of time studying every single week, then unfortunately it is likely that that is not going to be possible when you have work and life commitments, which means that sadly, yes, you are not going to find the time to study. However, if you focus more on consistency rather than quantity, and you really become laser focused on the smaller chunks of time that you have available in your day, I'm talking 15 to 30 minutes, and you do that every single day and spend that time learning your language, I promise you at the end of the week, you would have made far more progress than somebody who is trying to find 1 or 2 solid hours of time. Really focus on consistency. It is consistent actions that build up and help you to arrive at your long-term goal. And in turn, that is going to help you to find the time in the first place. Number 2, I think you need to be realistic about your language learning goals. Now, I believe that people don't really understand properly the language learning process or the reason why there are different levels when it comes to language learning. Now, I liken it to building a staircase. If I were to build a staircase and I omitted a couple of steps here and there as I was building, at some point that structure is going to become unstable, not fit for purpose, and will probably collapse. And that is exactly what happens when people try to skip levels in their language learning. If somebody is at a beginner's level, but they have aspirations to jump to intermediate or even advanced, at some point the gaps in their knowledge are going to become very, very apparent. And it's going to mean that they are going to hit a wall with their language learning, and it's going to be really, really difficult. Follow the process. If you find yourself wanting to jump the gun and arrive at a place much further down the road, I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself why that is. Because for some people, it may be more ego-based than what it is that they need. You must build your foundation first, because that is how you are really going to get a full grasp of a language and make it mean that it's something that can stay with you for life rather than just for the time that you're studying. The third thing that you need to be realistic about is the material that you're using. If you're using just the same old material, like, study books, or you're doing the same thing repeatedly, at some point your language learning is going to become pretty dull. Mix up your learning, use all of the resources that are available to you. There are so many resources on the internet now, completely free of charge, including YouTube channels, podcasts. So utilize them, integrate them into your learning, and I promise you it will be a much more fun experience.